Hey friends, welcome to 1 Minute with Monée, a podcast where we help busy adults live life with balance and harmony 1 minute at a time. I'm your host Monée, owner of Time Managed LLC, a full-service concierge and personal assistant business in Atlanta, Georgia. Visit our website, timemanagedllc.com, for more information about our services. Every week, I'll share tips for how you can manage your lifestyle and tackle your to-do list efficiently. Before we get into our discussion, let's listen in to our quick tip for the week. Hi friends, on today's 1 Minute with Monée, my tip for you is to expand your mindset about self-care. Now, self-care is more than massages and the occasional hashtag self-care Saturday. Self-care is about consistency. Now, it's loving yourself every day and being mindful about what your body needs to thrive. So this means finding time in your day every day to do something for you, whether it's reading, meditating, taking a walk, is your choice. It also means being mindful about the cues that our bodies give us when we are stressed. When your body gives you those cues, then you have to tap into your toolkit of self-care. Breathing exercises, setting boundaries, taking time to slow down, rest, decompress, and restore. Let me know in the comments how you practice self-care. What's in your self-care toolkit? Until next time, be well and be balanced.
Thank you so much for being here today. I am thrilled to dive deep into the topic that is essential for living life, and that is self-care. Now, self-care is often talked about in passing, like a quick fix for stress, or a luxury treat that we treat ourselves to when we have the time. But the truth is that self-care is not a Band-Aid. It's not something that we do once in a while when we're feeling overwhelmed. It's a lifestyle. It's a commitment to showing up for yourself every day, no matter what life throws your way. So when we talk about self-care, it's also deeply intertwined with self-love. So I may use that interchangeably throughout this podcast episode. Every time you take care of yourself, you're not just nurturing your mind and your body, but you're investing in your future self. So you're saying that I matter, I'm worth the time, the effort, and the energy. And that's a powerful message to send yourself. There's no better way to love yourself than in this way. So where do we start? Let's begin with the foundation of a great self-care practice, and that is a daily routine. Now, as a concierge and personal assistant, you know I love a good plan. Routines provide structure, they provide predictability, they reduce decision fatigue, and they give us a sense of control over our day. But the thing about it is that routines aren't just about productivity. It's about creating space for you. So you have space to slow down, to breathe, and to reconnect with what matters most. And when you think about your routine in the morning, that is going to set the tone for you for your day. I work from home, and if you're like me, fall into the trap of hopping out of bed and getting right to work, but your work will always be there. So if you don't take care of yourself first, you're going to show up to work and possibly even your life a little bit empty. So for me, my mornings are pretty sacred. So I try my best to avoid picking up my phone as soon as I get out of bed, to avoid the temptation of scrolling through social media. But I try to ease into my morning with a little bit of meditation, perhaps some journaling. I make tea. I also love a great self-care skin routine. Now, see what works for you. You may even want to add a workout to your routine in the morning. So it can be something as simple or as easy as stretching, doing a little bit of yoga, or even a full workout before you start your day. Movement really helps you to get energized, and it helps you to enhance your mental clarity. So it's an amazing way to start your day. Now, when I stick to my morning routine, I feel more grounded, more focused, and ready to tackle whatever the day throws my way. Now, for evening routines, this is where you're going to start to wind down and recharge for the next day. For me, my evenings are all about disconnecting from the busyness of the day and then reconnecting with my family and doing activities that I enjoy. So this could look like having dinner with my family, maybe playing a game, or simply just having a meaningful conversation with a loved one. It also might mean curling up with a good book or journaling or watching your favorite TV show. But the key is that you are taking time you are taking the time to transition from doing to being. And you need to find your way to disconnect and just be. Now, some of the ways that you can do this, one is limiting screen time. This is another important part of my evening routine. A good rule of thumb is to avoid screen time at least 1 hour before bedtime, because the blue light can be disruptive to your sleep. Instead, you might do some gentle stretching, meditation, or even take a warm bath. But remember, your evening routine just isn't about you preparing for sleep, but it's really that intentional shift in your day where you're giving yourself permission to rest, relax, and recharge. So these are all keys to help you prepare for a restful sleep. Now that we've talked about our daily routines, let's dive into the idea of building a self-care toolkit. So think of your toolkit as your go-to resource for navigating the ups and downs of your life. So this is your own personalized set of habits and resources to have so that when stress arises, when challenges come your way, your toolkit is going to help you stay grounded, centered, and in control. For a quick moment, let's talk a little bit about the science of self-care. Now, when we experience stress, our sympathetic nervous system kicks into gear. Now, this is the fight or flight response that is designed to help us survive and if there's any immediate danger or threats. So there are so many things in our life that can trigger this fight or flight mode. So it can be work deadlines, family responsibilities, or even the general chaos of your daily life. So it's not healthy, nor is it sustainable to live in a constant state of fight or flight. Now, this constant state of stress can take a toll on your body and your mind. So we have our parasympathetic nervous system that comes to counteract that stress. Now, this is the part of the nervous system that is responsible for the rest and digest response. So it helps us relax, it helps us to conserve energy and recover from stress. Now, by building a self-care toolkit, we're essentially training our bodies to activate the parasympathetic nervous system when we need it the most. So we're giving ourselves the tools to counteract stress and find the calm in the midst of the chaos. The first tool in our self-care toolkit is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment without judgment. It's about paying attention, having awareness, and really noticing how you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally, and recognizing when you need to take care of yourself. So some of the questions that you may ask when you're practicing mindfulness, am I clenching my jaw? So I actually do this a lot. So this is a key for me to realize when I'm under stress. Is your heart racing? Is your breathing shallow? Do you feel anxious or overwhelmed? And so you have to ask yourself these questions because these are all signs that you are experiencing stress, and it's okay. Stress is a normal part of life, but the key is to recognize it. And when you recognize it, you can take action on it before it spirals out of control. So once you've identified that you are feeling stressed, the next step is to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So one of the simplest ways to do this is through breathing exercises. So a quick one that we can actually try right now is to sit or stand in a comfortable position. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. Take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4. So I'm going to do it with you. Hold your breath for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. And you want to repeat this cycle for about 1 to 2 minutes. So the exercise is meant to slow down your breathing, calm your nervous system. And then over time, you'll notice that it becomes easier for you to access this sense of calm, even in the midst of a stressful situation. There are plenty other breathing exercises and tools out there for you to use in order to feel that sense of calm as well. One of my favorite tools in my self-care toolkit is the practice of treating and celebrating myself. So it might sound a little bit indulgent, but celebration is definitely a form of self-care. It's about recognizing and honoring the good in your life, even when things aren't perfect. And when you celebrate your successes, it reinforces the positive aspects of your life. When things are going well, trust the joy. I remind myself this a lot, especially when moments are going well. They are the moments that are worth savoring in my life. And so I just have to remind myself to trust it and enjoy it. I express gratitude for those moments. So whether it's through journaling, talking to a friend, or simply just taking a moment to pause and acknowledge those good things in my life. And the next thing is when I'm feeling really good, I treat myself. So this can mean going shopping, having a spa day, or simply just buying something that I enjoy eating, like a special treat or dessert. Self-care isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving, and celebration is a powerful way to remind yourself that you're worthy of the joy, even in the midst of life's challenges. Another key component of our self-care toolkit is wellness. So this includes things like exercise, nutrition, and monitoring your physical health. Some of the questions that you can ask yourself are, what am I feeding my body? Am I eating nutrient-dense foods that fuel me, or am I relying on processed foods and sugar? Am I staying hydrated? Am I getting regular exercise? So we talked about movement earlier. Movement is also an important part of your wellness, not only for your body, but also for your mind. And I also recommend checking in with your physical health regularly. So this might mean monitoring your blood pressure, getting regular checkups, and just paying attention to how your body feels, because those are the cues that we can take in order to let us know what we might need to do in order to counteract some of the stress or to take care of something that may be going on in our bodies. So it's not about just your mental health when we think about self-care. It is also about your physical health. So nourishing your body is an act of love and respect for yourself. One of the most important tools of your self-care toolkit is the ability to set boundaries. So boundaries are not about just being mean or shutting people out. They're about protecting your peace and prioritizing your well-being. So at times we get so caught up in how other people feel, or we're worried about not hurting other people's feelings, but we forget about protecting ourselves and our feelings. So when you're setting boundaries, think about situations or people that drain your energy or cause you stress. Be unapologetic about saying no when you need to, and also create space when necessary. And this space that you're creating could be physical space, it can be emotional space. Both are very important. So remember, when setting boundaries, it's not about controlling other people. It's about taking control of your own life, because you can't pour from an empty cup. That means you have to be willing to say no to things that don't serve you. Finally, let's talk about rest. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. In a world that often glorifies busyness, it's easy for us to feel guilty for taking time off, but the truth is that rest is not lazy, it's strategic. I've been taking more rest lately, trying not to overschedule my days, and I really am trying to slow down a lot more. In a few ways that you can incorporate rest into your self-care toolkit, you can clear your calendar, take a day off early, take a walk in nature, ground yourself by touching grass or feeling the earth beneath your feet. Practice the art of doing nothing. Sometimes the best way to recharge is really to just sit still and be in that stillness. Remember that rest is not about being unproductive. It's about refueling so that you can show up fully for the things that matter most to you. So my self-care in action was actually evident a few weeks ago. I had a very busy weekend, and on Monday I could not get myself focused. So I had a lot of brain clutter. I was really anxious. My morning routine didn't help. My essential oils didn't help. And I decided to go ahead and take my few meetings in the morning, and then I cleared the rest of my day. So I took a 3-hour hike at a local park, and I felt so good. It was an effective way for me to clear my mind. It all started with me being mindful about how I was feeling, and then tapping into my self-care toolkit to see what I needed to get grounded. I got a little bit of sunshine, I was outside, and all of those things helped to fuel me and to help me relax and get back to that normal state of being and not being stressed or anxious. Now, building a self-care toolkit is about progress. It's about showing up for yourself, committing to yourself even when it's hard. It's about recognizing that you're worth the time, you're worth the effort, and you're worth the energy. It's not a Band-Aid. It's not a quick fix for stress. It's not a luxury that we treat ourselves to when we have the time, but it's really, truly a lifestyle, a commitment to show up for yourself every single day, no matter what life throws your way. So I want to leave you with this. Take the time to build your self-care toolkit. Experiment with what works for you. Be intentional about incorporating self-care into your daily routine and equipping yourself with the right tools. Like, when you do this, you're setting up yourself for success. For a healthier and more balanced life. But be patient with yourself. It may not come easy. You may not have a full toolkit all at once. But when things don't go your way, just give yourself grace through it. And remember that you're doing a great job. You're not just surviving, but you are thriving. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And if you have any tips or tools that you have found helpful in your own self-care journey, I would love to hear them in the comments below. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself. You're worth it.
Thank you for joining me this week. Let's continue the conversation on social media at 1 Minute with Monée on all channels. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Until next time, be well and be balanced.